And on Friday, you introduced Donald Trump at a group of black conservatives. He made a number of headline-making comments, including this one. Take a look.
I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that that's why the black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually viewed me as I'm being discriminated against.
Congressman, it sounds like Donald Trump was implying that he can win black voters because they get indicted all the time, too. Is that what he was saying?
Well, I think it's in part of that. It's part of it, Kristen. Look, it was a great night Friday night in Columbia, South Carolina. The president was really just enjoying himself. It was a great celebration for black conservatives across our country. But let's be very clear. Our economy is a mess. Our border is completely unsecured. These things are causes of major concerns for black voters, like it is for every voter in our country. But then when you layer on the fact that, yes, this is political persecution from the Department of Justice and from radical DAs throughout our country, this is something similar that black people had to deal with the justice system themselves. And so their look of it is real simple. Well, dang, if the government's going after him with foolishness, he can't be that bad.
Welcome, everyone. It's Talks with Kenny here. Today, we're going to be analyzing Byron Donald defending Trump over his comments about black people. I want to kind of start off with this, is that this is big thing that, you know, everyone wants to keep wanting to bring up racial politics, right? And in this video, it's kind of be a critique over racial politics, because I believe it's a very superficial ideal to follow, a superficial ideology. I believe it creates more racism. It creates a very problem that these people who pretend to want to fix racial issues actually perpetuates racial issues, right? You've been seeing, I've been railing against identity politics, and I honestly believe identity politics is one of the worst things that ever happened to the United States of America. But I want to get a little bit into the story, and I kind of want to talk my overall issues about, like, not issues, but my overall messaging about how I believe the Republicans can center a message based on values, not on race, right? Let the racist Democrats worry about what ethnic mix of audience they have, right? Because this is some of the common critiques you're going to see against Byron Donald's defending Trump, because I'm going to show you some comments that people who are more aligned with NBC, what kind of reactions they have to Byron Donald's comments of him defending Donald Trump. But before that, I want you guys to get the full clip in its entirety before I go over the article and the comments. So let's take a look.
But let me stick to the question here. Let me get you to respond to Biden campaign co-chair and former Congressman Cedric Richmond, who said this about his comments. Donald Trump claiming that black Americans will support him because of his criminal charges is insulting. It's moronic, and it's just plain racist. How do you respond to that charge, that it's just plain racist?
What I would say is that Cedric is trying to play politics and use racial politics even now as we get into the general election. That's one. Number two, like I said at the top, the number one reason why minority voters in our country want to support Donald Trump is because he did the job of president. He did a great job as president. Our country was secure. The economy was great. These are all things that Donald Trump talked about Friday night. He also did talk about the indictments. What Americans don't want to see, especially black Americans and anybody else, they don't want to see a politicized Justice Department. They don't want to see a two-tier system of justice. They want justice to be followed. They want Lady Justice to be blind. That's what the American people want. That's what black voters want. That's what everybody wants.
I agree with that sentiment. And, you know, Byron Donald is from Florida, like I am. I don't know, maybe it's something in the water in Florida, but I've been noticing a lot of black people being conservative over here. I don't know what it is. Maybe just my area of, you know, exposure. But one thing I do want to comment on is the idea that, Trump getting indicted, it makes him more relatable to black people. And I'll even make the argument that I always point out in my videos that I believe some of the most corrupt justice systems are run by Democratic cities. Look at New York. Hell, look at Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is a testament to the very problems that a lot of black people complain about. Look at her record. Go to Kamala, see how she was as a prosecutor, putting people away for years on weed and all these nonviolent offenses that the left seem to care about a lot. But Byron Donald's defending the idea that Trump is saying, hey, black people, just like the corrupt Democrats use the legal system to put you behind bars, Joe Biden's crime bill, 1994 crime bill, do your research, right? But at the same time, you're going to have liberals in the comment section trying to insinuate that Byron Donalds is somehow kissing up to the oppressor, when the oppressor has always been the Democratic Party, and black people have been rewarding the oppressors with their vote at a 90% clip. Since the 1960s, you've been rewarding the Democratic Party. And look at all the policies. All the policies have hurt the black community in the long term. Granted, there was some short-term benefits for the previous generation of blacks for some of the bills that the Democrats passed. War on poverty. They got a lot of free handouts, free money, welfare, the expansion of welfare. They had the option to not live with their man. I don't need no man, right? Creating a culture and incentive structure that eventually eradicated the black family. And now black people are disproportionately in poverty compared to other groups of people. But that's because of choices that the black community themselves chose and made. Democratic policies gave you that. Democratic policies nudged you in that direction, and you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. The Democratic Party has so much leverage over the black community that they don't even have to listen to the black community anymore. They don't even have to give the black community anything, because the loyalty to the Democrats is so ingrained. It's been cultured in the black culture that not voting Democrat, you're seen as an outlier, an outsider, a black sheep, pun intended. And this type of chaos, that it's so infuriating to me as a man that grew up around conservatives. My father's one. And it bothers me a lot when people sit here with their narrow-minded thinking that, oh, if you didn't grow up like me, you're not black. Like, make it make sense. So this is the clip where I got it from Meet the Press, and we're gonna see some of the comments. Right? History matters. Except this event, when the cameras panned to the audience, only had a handful of black conservatives in the audience. The audience consistently mostly of white people. Isn't this racism? If I flip it and say, oh, look, we're going to this black in tech event, and not a lot of white people are in the front, but we have a whole lot of black people, and we made that a problem. Wouldn't that be racist? Look at the fact that a lot of these liberals can't even see their own like racial bias. This is the problem with racial politics. People sitting here pretending that they're not racist, but they are. They're just saying so essentially what this person is admitting is, hey, it's okay to be racist towards white people, but it's not okay to be racist towards black people. Using racism to judge that. That's racist. You're still racist. We have to call it down the middle. Hey, look, who cares what the color of the people, who cares about their skin color? Black people only make up 13% of the population. And out of that 30% of the population, only if you're a black man, because black men tend to be the conservatives, the black conservatives that you want to make fun of, only 22% of the 13% are conservative. So that's representative. But you're complaining that the party's mostly white. The Democratic Party is mostly white. You go anywhere, it's mostly white. Why is that a problem? That's like me going to Africa and complaining that it's mostly black. Ridiculous. But this is the kind of thinking these people are, and they think they're actually saying something. They're saying nothing. There are some very accurate words and phrases for people of color who grovel for the scraps of their oppressor. Yeah, I agree with you. They're black Democrats. That's my thoughts. How about that? I already pointed out, school choice benefits the black community more than any other group of people. Black community will stand to benefit more from school choice, and it'll set the stage for later generations to have a better outcome economically, academically. But what do Democrats do? They cheer for it and destroy it. Oh, no, we want to fund more public schools. That's not helping black community. 76% of kids are educated in the public school system. We invest so much money into the public school system, but the quality of education keeps going down compared to last year. Like, how make it make sense? Progressive education is making our kids stupid. But you want them to teach. You want to teach them your left-wing values. You want to teach them that America was built on racism and slavery, when that's revisionist history. If you had to defend it, you couldn't. Show me in the Constitution where it even mentions slaves. It's the same thing y'all did with the Don't Say Gay bill. But liberals want to sit here and still pretend they deserve credibility. I'm not going to use those words or phrases, but Byron Donald's take the cake. I can say a lot of things about black Democrats. Al Sharpton. How you can keep supporting a party that does nothing for black people, that only makes them feel comfortable in their current situation. How can I support Al Sharpton when he's incentivizing black people to continue voting for a party that doesn't have no incentive to change or actually do anything for them? Because if black community stays the same as it is, nothing changed with the black community, Democratic Party is guaranteed to get 90% of the vote. So what incentive does the Democrat have to actually earn the vote of the black community? Black community being complaining about, oh my God, Democrats are abusing the black vote. We're in an abusive relationship with the Democratic Party. And instead of leaving the Democratic Party or trying to game the system and use the Republican Party for the policies that actually benefit you, no. You want to put all your eggs in one basket. But you want to call black conservatives coons. You want to listen to your white liberal masters here telling you, oh, don't do it. You're voting against your best interest. This is what these cocky, condescending liberals always remind me of. I get triggered every time I hear them. They open their mouth because they're so ignorant. They're racist in and of themselves. Black people are not a monolith, but then you meet a black person that don't see the world the same way as you, and now you want to call them names. You want to say he's getting scraps off his oppressors. When the Republican Party, if you look at the history of the Republican Party, they're the one who freed us from the oppressors, which was you, Democrat. No one want to have that conversation. No one want to talk about how all the racism came from the Democratic Party. All the discrimination came from the Democratic Party. Who destroyed Tulsa? Democrats. But this idiot here in the comment section, Robert Ryan, the truth don't really matter, does it? Especially when it goes against his perception. And this is the problem with white liberals. They pretend, oh, we're here for everybody, but they don't want to acknowledge their own bias. They don't want to acknowledge that they just hate themselves. Right? I showed this already. A mean in-group bias by race or ethnicity. Look at white liberals. White liberals are in the negative. So you have a negative bias against your own people. So why should I even trust you? You're on this crusade. It's like a daughter that hates her dad, so she's trying to get back at her dad by doing everything that the father don't like. That's what the white liberals are to me anyway. Why should I trust you? How can we move forward as a country when people like him keep trying to bring up the fact that, because of my race, I shouldn't subscribe to these values, even though these values are giving me a benefit, even in my personal life. Racism can't stop me. That's values that I instill in myself, and then I'm instilling in my kids. Don't be a victim. You're a victor. You're an overcomer. Regardless of white people like you or not, it never determined the outcome of black folks. Look at our history. But no, what white liberals want you to focus on? Oh, when you were a victim, when you couldn't do anything for themselves. And then they skip the part where they were doing Jim Crow laws, black codes, which is market regulation. This is why I'm a staunch libertarian against regulation. Because regulation is the policy positions of racist. But here Democrats saying, oh, we want to regulate this, we're going to regulate that. Based on what? But a black man sitting here comes and say, oh, market regulations is racist. You know, oh, no, it's not. What was black codes then? What was speech codes then? Censorship. All I'm trying to say is that these people have such an inherent bias, and they can't even see it. Is so baffling. At least I'm self-aware enough to know that no matter how, I'm trying to be as objective as I can, but I know there's some bias in there, and I'm honest with my viewers and let them know, hey, look, this is my kind of my bias. If you want a more balanced perspective, go look for more left wing to counter out, and you find the truth for yourself. But I believe I'm giving an honest take. I'm honestly believe what I say, what I say, and I stand on. Because at the end of the day, I can show you better than I could tell you. If I say, hey, racism can't stop me, I have to show you that. I have a nice life. I'm 27 years old, own a house, no debt, make good money, stay-at-home wife. Like, I live the life that I preach out here. But if I vote Republican, oh, you're voting against your best interest. How you know that? I'm in a high-income tax bracket. I'm in a tax bracket that pays almost 70% of the taxes in our country. I want less taxes. I want less money being taken from me. How's that go against my best interest? And this is this collectivist thinking that the left want us to be wrapped up in. I know I went on a little tangent there, but I kind of want to end off this video, not end off this video exactly, because I want to talk about the state of politics. And I believe that values over race is the message that the Republican Party should be preaching. And as usual, I can't end this video off without recommending my guy, Vivek Ramaswamy. Let's take a look at this clip that hones in on this messaging. And I think if the Republicans stick with this messaging, they could really do some damage in the next in the 2024 election. Let's take a look.
I don't care what your skin color is, what your religion is. We are on the same team because we share those same values in common. This is one of those elections where, you know what, if you disagree about corporate tax rates being high or low, or some esoteric part of foreign policy, or whether ivermectin treats COVID, or whatever, those are details. This is about the basic rules of the road. And you know what? If you believe in those 1776 ideals, then I am asking you, every one of you, not just in this room, but outside of this room, to do the right thing for this country and to vote for Donald Trump. Will you agree with every word that comes out of the Republicans' mouth and Donald Trump's mouth? Maybe not. But you don't have the luxury of having the choice of voting for somebody who agrees with everything of what you say, because the existence of our country is actually at stake.
The same team we're on is that we're all Americans. We all share this country. We all benefit. When the country do good, we all benefit from it. And all the government's job is to be the referee, not to be the arbiters of who gets to win or lose. No, we don't want to make the government our king. And this is what these people in politics are seemingly want to become, right? Nikki Haley took another L. Now the No Labels Party is expressing interest in her joining their ticket, right? I'm just going to speed through this. Ronald McDonald is going to leave the RNC chair March 8th, which is Women's Day and also my mom's birthday, right? March 8th, Women's Day. And we're making the woman of the RNC step down. Irony at its finest here, right? Gavin Newsom is making claims that the Donald Trump is a big part of why Democrats are winning across the country. But I don't really see that. I see a lot of Democrats voters being disassociated, like unmotivated by the Democratic Party, right? Maybe he knows something he's not, but maybe he's too much in his bubble. I don't know where he's getting this idea from. But polls are showing that no one is like looking into Biden like that. The Koch network, pulls funding from Nikki after 4th straight loss, right? I'm seeing the change, but what is the message? What is the vision we're pushing for? And I think that the direction that we're going as a populist party, I think is the best move for the Republican Party, the Conservative Party, whatever party you want to call it, whatever party associations you have. I think that politics can't move forward unless we become more solution-based, unless we unite under a shared identity. And that is one shared identity we all can agree on is nationalism, is our country, Americans, our communities, our people, we the people, for the people, by the people. And I think if we live those values, saying, hey, look, we ain't trying to pick racial, we ain't trying to pit each other one over the other. And I think this is one of the reasons why the Democrats and their voters love pushing racial politics, is because it helps them pit this idea of, even though your values align with this party, they don't like you because of your race. They make it racial so that way you focus on racial instead of values. And I think it's time that we tried the racial politics, and it has divided our country. It has destroyed our culture. It has made us less unified, more partisan. And I think it's time to shift over the paradigm and focus more on values. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you believe in values over values over race? Or are you on the other camp of this talk? Let me know your take in the comment section below. I really would appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.